How does this season compare to any others in the past, other than what I might have just pointed out?
Yeah, the only thing that I can really connect it to is the schedule or the win-loss record, like you stated. This is a completely different team. It's a completely different vibe, completely different players, and a different mentality. We are just different altogether. And so I don't want to compare that to what we've had in the past. I will say that this team, I do believe, is poised to continue a strong push and a strong run. We have the talent and we have the mindset. It comes down to us executing consistently. And I think we have the ability to do that. So we'll see what happens.
So can you, how is it different then? I mean, is it just different because the Legion of Boom is completely gone and that it leaves a void in the locker room that needs to be filled elsewhere on the field? I mean, because that would be the obvious one outside looking in as to what's different.
Yeah, I would say it's a philosophical one and maybe even a cultural, societal one as well. The young guys that are coming in now, they're just completely different than myself and the guys who have been here, the older guys. We were just cut from a different fabric, and that's not to be disrespectful to the young guys that are here. They just grew up in the age of social media, where that's what they know. For a lot of us younger guys, we didn't have that, and so there's definitely a mental transition that you see in the locker room. And not to say that it's bad or that it's all bad, but there's some subtle differences. The group that we had when we were in our prime and those years of the Super Bowl runs, you had guys who were just, I don't even know how to describe them. They were just different, and the mentality was different, and the approach was different. And so it's a transition. Again, not to say that it's bad. It's just different, and so we have to find our identity amongst that as we move along.
So when you're saying they're more focused on social media, as I guess
I didn't say that.
No. I know. By the way, I was about to correct myself. I understand that. I understand what I just said and how it might have twisted what you did say. So then I guess let me openly ask you, when you say they're from the social media era, okay, how does that manifest itself in the locker room or on the field?
Yeah, you have to talk to them differently. I think that, the pressure of always being under the microscope, whether it be on the football field or off the football field and what they put out there and what's returned to them, they're always being criticized and judged. And so the mentality is different, and the approach is different, and the sensitivity is different. And so, you have to approach it and communicate with guys differently because they hear things differently. Their emotions are different. And that, again, that's okay. It's a different world that I've been a part of. And so you just have to handle it accordingly. And I think that's a responsible thing to do. And I would say to, whether you're an older veteran on a team or a parent raising children in today's day and age, you have to be willing to be empathic to your children or to the younger generation to understand and learn how to communicate with them so that you can get the best out of them.
Do you think that this is an NFL thing or just a Seattle Seahawks thing, Doug Baldwin?
No, I definitely think it's an NFL thing, and I think that's why Sean McVay has had so much success, is because he's a younger mind. He understands how to communicate with his players, especially the quarterbacks that are coming out nowadays. And so you're going to see, in my opinion, you're going to see younger coaches having more success because they know how to communicate with the younger generation. And so I don't think it's just a Seahawks thing or just an NFL thing. I think it's a societal thing.
So does it help to have the oldest child as your coach then? Is that what you're saying then, Doug? If you do have the oldest coach, it helps that he acts like a child in a way, Doug?
I will say that's in some ways, yes. I will say the great thing about Pete is that he tries very hard to listen to the guys and to learn as much as he can, and he takes great pride in that. So that's one thing that I respect about Pete and appreciate about him greatly.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.